Howdy-ho everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the G.I. Joe Classified Series Zartan action figure. Finding this guy in my local Walmart was like finding a unicorn out in the wild. I couldn't believe it. On that day I also found a Cobra infantry figure, so man, I was feeling like just the luckiest guy in the universe. I really like the box art for these G.I. Joe Classified Series figures. It's probably some of the most attractive stuff on the shelves at the moment. It's so bright and colorful, and the artwork is always fantastic. Although, as usual, the back of the package does showcase that really fantastic looking poster art, but I do kind of wish that instead they had have gone with a bio and a cross-sell of other figures. Anyhow, out of the package, this is what you get with the Zartan figure. The Zartan, you got a pistol, you got a snake head, and then a hand, you get his backpack and an extra face, and finally Zartan comes with this here knife as well. Although technically I would call both the hood and the scarf accessories because they can both be removed from the figure's person. The figure itself has been heavily redesigned, but it's still entirely recognizable who it is. Like if the box didn't say Zartan and I saw this thing sitting on the store shelves in Walmart, I would know that it's Zartan. I would recognize this character immediately. I love the look of Zartan's armor. It's so intricate, there's so much going on here, but at the same time, it's not entirely distracting from the overall look of the figure. This looks really cool, kind of Mad Max-ish if you ask me. The whole character looks like he should be in a Mad Max movie. I like these rubber shoulder pauldrons too, which you'll see during the articulation segment. They move out of the way really easy when you're trying to flex those arms around. His wrist gauntlets, they look pretty awesome as well. I love the design for these, and the same thing for his gloves. There's that weird kind of octagonal scaly design there right on the hands. The fingers have been all textured. They look pretty nice as well. And then you go to this side of the gloves and they're blurry. There we go, that's better. You got more of that texturing right there that almost looks like snake scales. Zartan apparently really likes belts because he has two of them. The first one, the one that holds his pants up, the initial belt, has this really creepy looking demonic skull with horns. And the look of the belt itself actually kind of looks like shiny-ish leather. You got these little rivet holes in it. And then you've got his dagger sheath right here, his knife sheath right here. Clearly that is intended to be snakeskin. Attached to another belt right here that you'll see is holy. And the little peg holes right here, they've been designed so that you can put the little hand there. Is that a monkey hand? And the snake head in, just like that. So he can wear those on his belt like they're trophies. To be honest, I don't really know what they're supposed to be. You got the plates on each of his legs like that. And again, you've got matte and shiny right there just to break up the overall look, which is cool. They didn't have to do that. You got the pants. Look at the texture of the pants. This is such a cool looking figure. The knee pads. You got these here massive kick-ass shin guards on his massive kick-ass boots. And the back, you got more texturing. This figure is insanely sculpted. This is awesome. He looks like an aging heavy metal rock god that just shaved his head because he can't grow a full head of luscious, long, heavy metal hair to twirl around anymore. But I think that this face, the sculpting of this face, looks fantastic. Hasbro is knocking it out of the park with the face sculpts for these G.I. Joe Classified figures. And the eyeballs, they're painted really nice. I like that a lot. You can get companies that charge a lot more money for their figures, and the eyes aren't painted half as good as that. Look, there's the back of his cue ball head, and the hood just fits nicely on his head like that. You would think that there'd be a danger of it falling off, but there really isn't. It fits nice and snug to his head. Here's Zartan's second face. It's the mask that he wears. You can just plop it on there. The original one, I believe, came with 3. It is kind of big and bulbous and makes his head look a little bit larger than it possibly should based on the size of his body. But I think it looks cool. I don't know if I'll ever pose him with this on here, but it is an interesting accessory. The fun part is they've actually detailed the inside of his backpack to the nines as well. And you can just take the face and pop it right in there like that, and it's nice and secure. It's not just going to fall out, and then you just pop it like that. It's like a little hidden surprise. As would be expected, Zartan's dagger fits perfectly into the sheath back there, but you'll notice that Zartan doesn't have anywhere at all to stow his gun, so he just has to carry it around all the time. I do like the fact that both hands have a finger that has been designed to go either in the trigger or in the hole of the knife. And of course the backpack has that peg, and it can go boosh right on his back like that. For the articulation segment, I am going to remove this fantastically painted and crafted hood from off of his head. I think I'll take off the scarf as well. So, pretty much all of us know exactly what we're going to get as far as articulation with these guys. Head and neck have articulation. The neck itself can move around. It's on a ball peg, and you've got a hinged ball peg in the actual head itself. So, yep, all of the head articulation I think you would ever want with this figure. He's got an ab crunch right there in the torso. I know a lot of people are not fans of the ab crunch. I actually don't despise the ab crunch at all. I'd rather have a well-working ab crunch than a poorly working chest-torso ball joint. It clicks into place too. Of course, he's got that rounded ball hinge waist, so not only can he do the whole round and round tornado waist thing, but there's also a bit of bibbly-bobbly motion like that. Remember how before I told you that these shoulder pauldrons go right out of the way? That's because they do. You can actually move his arms up all the way, and all the way even up like that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that looks kind of dumb, but the point is the shoulder pauldrons don't get in the way of the articulation. You can see he's also got a butterfly in there that moves back and forth. He's got a bicep swivel that's going to do 360. He's got double jointed elbows that crunch up as good as you need them to, and swivelly, hingy wrists. Of course, down here he's got the ball joints. He's got the thigh cut. He's got the double jointed knees. Yeah, that's good enough. And he's got the rounded hinge ankle pivots. And that's the sum total of Zartan's articulation. Oh, wait, I forgot. He's got drop hinges. That's right. I forget sometimes because most figures don't have drop hinges as well. So there you go, ball jointed drop hinges. So after having looked at Zartan up close, checking his articulation, clearly you're going to see some comparisons also while I'm rambling on here at the end. What do I think about him? Can I recommend him to you as a collector of 6-inch scale G.I. Joe classified figures? Is he worth the time and effort for you to track down at your local wherever you can find him? Well, let's break it down. I think that he looks fantastic. He's going to look great in your action figure photography photos, and I think he has all the articulation that you would ever need to get him into pretty much whatever pose you needed to whenever. Also, I think as with the rest of the G.I. Joe classified line, he's recognizable enough to the original appearance of the character, but also interesting enough in the 6-inch scale, having been gussied up with more technical looking armor and plating and stuff like that, so that he also equally matches the rest of the G.I. Joe classified series as far as gussied up detail. So he's not going to look out of place standing around with the rest of them on your shelf or in your photos. Seeing this figure of Zartan, the master of disguise and leader of the Dreadnoughts, gives me hope that possibly in the future we will see the rest of the Dreadnoughts made. So as far as old Zarty here goes, I give him my 100% seal of approval. There's nothing I don't like about this figure, and I am completely satisfied with it. So if you're out on the hunt and you see this guy hanging on the pegs and you're thinking of passing him up, don't do it, because he'll be gone by the next time you go back. But anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Hopefully you found this video to be an interesting, useful, insightful waste of time, and I will see you next time with the next video. Bye for now.